I want to talk about our January WASC assignment, just so you know that everything you're being asked to do for the WASC process comes directly from the Department of Education, and they have a whole manual for every single one of the criteria and every single chapter that we're going to be looking at. This month, the month of January, we're going to be looking at category E, which is school culture and support for student personal, social, emotional, academic growth. And the reason why we're starting with this criteria is because by far it's the one that everybody, no matter your role on campus, has a part to say. So all of the tasks you're being asked to do are directly from the guide. There are criteria here that WASC wants us to look at. For each of the criteria, there are these indicators, and they even have in their guide suggested evidence that they want us to look at. So you could decide to read all this on your own because it can be found at the bottom of the January WASC task board. So let's talk about this task board first. You need to first, in our Google Classroom, you first need to open up the task board itself. There will be an assignment there. And I just want you to know that there are 3 main criteria for the category E, which is school culture and support. So the first criteria, family and community involvement. Second, trust, respect, equity. And then the third, student involvement. Each of these criteria have then 3 indicators. So there's an indicator for E1-1, strategies process. You get the idea, so on and so forth. There are 9 total indicators this month that we're asked everybody on campus to kind of look at and find evidence for so that we can evaluate our effectiveness or ineffectiveness when it comes to this category of school culture and support. So there's 9 indicators. You just need to find 2, and 2 that you think you can find evidence for. So in my case, I'm going to go to first E3-1 multi-tiered support. The reason why I think I can easily find evidence for this category is because in the little sample ideas for what kinds of evidence you can include, advanced placement supports is listed here. So here's what you need to do. Back in the Google Classroom, there is a file. Each and every one of you have access your own copy to this file. It is going to be a Google slide deck that just has 2 slides on it. Your job is going to be to add evidence onto this slide deck. Please don't add links. Please follow the examples that are already there. So I mentioned that the first one I was going to do was the multi-tiered support. So if I look at and I open that file, the indicator is here. E3-1 is that we implement and then we evaluate the effectiveness of personalized academic multi-tiered support. We offer alternative instructional approaches when necessary to meet student needs. So this is going to be the indicator that I'm going to use, E1-3. On my little Google slide deck, I am going to insert a screenshot of a commitment letter that AP students were given if they received a D or F. They had to choose some strategies. I'm going to create the label, so I put the little description. I'm going to include a date. Don't worry too much about the day. Just month, year, if possible. That'd be great. And then down at the bottom, the important thing, E3-1, please leave 1 indicator there so that I know which of our slide decks I'm going to import your slide into. So having this designation here, E3-1, tells me that I'm going to insert it, import it into this particular slide deck, evidence for multi-tiered support. Here it is, done. Next, I'm going to pick a second one. So my second is I'm going to choose trust, equity, respect. Again, I open up the file, so you get the idea. First things first is you look at the description of the indicator, think of something that could apply, and then you screenshot, you add images, photos. The more photos you have of happy kids, kids enjoying themselves, the better. This one here, we have 3 staff members in it as well. So a little label, date, and then again, important part, leave down here the criteria and indicator. This way I'll know which of our slide decks to actually insert it to. Then you are going to push turn in. I can't show you the student experience here, but you're going to push turn in, and then I will have your evidence to be able to add to the rest of our slide decks.